VanCarthens. It's time. Hello, can you hear me okay? Microphone check, microphone checker. Let me put this on do not disturb. And do that. Welcome. Let's talk reality with Q. What's good? What's good? Is that the name of your new channel, Q? Is that the name of your new channel? Go ahead and drop a link to your channel, Q, if you like. Hey, Melos Noir. Grand afternooning. Hello, VanCarthens. Good afternoon, VanCarthens. Good evening, VanCarthens. Hello, VanCarthens. Thanks for coming through. Thanks for being here. Go ahead and smash that like button. Smash the subscribe button. If you haven't already, ring my bell. Ring my bell so you can get notified next time I upload a video, and so you can become part of the beautiful, curvy community that we're growing in the YouTube streets. And you know how I like to do. I do a simulcast, broadcast, thingamabob here so I can get to the people in, let's change this real quick. Go ahead and smash the like button, share the video out, get our other VanCarthens in here. I know I owed you some lives, so now I got them because I went live with Dr. Heavenly. And that was the 19th, right? The 2 days after her birthday, right after she got off of BravoCon. No way. Thanks for that gift. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I love hot cocoa. My son, the 12-year-old, also known as Squirrel, because he just is everywhere. Everywhere. High, low, under, over, around, behind. And he gets there so fast. So, like, he's very squirrely. And he got hot chocolate from his auntie last season, and she got him his own mugs, his own little spoons, and his own little jar of hot chocolate. And so we just keep that stocked, and he'll warm up his milk and put his hot chocolate in there. So I am very familiar with the hot cocoa-ine of the season, and I am pleased to have my own, because he definitely would have taken that from me. That looked really good. So thank you. Yeah, so I owe you guys a lot. So yeah, we had our live with Dr. Heavenly. Thank you those who came through, and thank you those in the replay crew. You know that Dr. Heavenly from Married to Medicine is running for District 13 Congress position in Georgia, you guys. And you might think of her one way on the show, but whatever you think of her on the show, you know and I know that that would be good for Congress right about now, because you got to meet them where they are. And all those people speak is people want to call Dr. Heavenly ratchet or uncouth or whatever. I say she's smart as hell, smart as heaven, rather. And anyway, I think she would be perfect to go up against those skin suits that are currently residing in Congress. And I'm sure she could help get some stuff done. And she'll be heard. She will be a heard woman, that's for sure. They won't be telling her too many shut-ups, because they might get a your mama. I don't know if you can get sanctioned for saying your mama to skin suits. But, hey, I don't know. But I also know she's grown out of your mamas. So, let's do this one. And we'll say we want, I want 10 of them. That's how many I want. So I'm going to put 10. Help me reach my goal. I just changed it. Melodic birds, 10, confirm, melodic birds. Okay, confirm. And so then after we had the interview with Dr. Heavenly that Wednesday, you know, Mercury retrograde was upon us. It started on like the 9th of November. So I was really pleased that the interview with Dr. Heavenly went off without a hitch. Without a proverbial hitch. Like there was no glitches in my system or anything. And I was very pleased about that. I didn't freeze, not one time. She didn't freeze. We were using a new Um, we were using a new streaming service. I switched over from Restream to, from StreamYard to Restream, and everything was beautiful. I was able to put my notes in there, and it was a very beautiful interview. I hope you guys got to see it. Hey, Devin, thanks for coming through. Rita, again, thanks for that hot cocoa. So, select from library. So after that, Mercury retrogrades in full effect. So that Monday, I got up, you guys, and I'm like, oh, let me go put my clothes in the wash, right? I had just shown my 12-year-old, aka Squirrely, how to go ahead and wash the clothes. And I told him specifically, I had said, be careful of the seal. And after I said it, I was like, why do you say that? Like, nothing ever happens to the seal. But I had said, be careful of the seal, right? You know, the seal is a front load washer. So all their clothes came out fine. I go down, I get up hella early. I'm up by like 3 and stomping around the house by 4 o'clock, right? So I was like, let me get these clothes done. And I decided to load the washer, and then I'm off doing something else. My husband comes downstairs and he's like, who didn't close the door on the washer? And I'm like, babe, the washer won't even start if the door's not closed. Like, that sounds ridiculous. He's like, well, what the fuck is all this water doing everywhere? I was like, what? So I run downstairs and the door is closed, but water is gushing out the bottom of the door. We open the door and there is literally 2 inches of fucking water in my laundry room, and the gap under the door is only like, a pencil size. So like, we open the door and water flooded out into our carpeted hallway, right over to the cloak closet, towards the hardwood floor kitchen family room, and to the rest of the living room area. I was like, what? And I was like, okay, well, Mercury's in retrograde. We'll figure it out. We clean up all the water. Luckily, the freaking carpet cleaner thing that has the water sucker was right there. Me and husband work good together. So, like, we're getting it done. We're getting it done, right? So, but my clothes are still in the washer. And there's water still in the washer. So, we, like, push the door and fondle the door and do what we can to the door without opening the door, because it's a front load fucking washer and it's at least quarter full with water and wet ass clothes. So I'm like, well, what are we gonna do? Like, even if I take this to the local laundromat to finish the spin cycle and then bring it home to dry, I still need to open this fucking door. So I go and get a trash can. The trash can's too tall. I go and get a pot. The pot's too round. I go and get a baking sheet thing, and I thought I was going to like redirect the water into something else, like, and kind of use a funnel. Nope, nothing worked. Nothing was working. And this is after I had got all the water sucked up, right? And I guess husband thought that I would know better than to try again, because then he left and he went to go do his thing, right? And so me and my big brain self feels like, okay, well, I'll stand here and hold the bottom of the door this time. I'll just stand here, put it to spin, and hold the bottom of the door so I can, deal with this. So I told you that was big brain, right? As it turned out, it wasn't. Because I turned on the washer, and it said rinse and spin, but I hadn't pressed spin only, so water was still like gushing, even though I was pressing the bottom of the door. And it didn't happen immediately. Like, it waited until the water started moving, so it was like the force of the water moving made the water look like it was a horse peeing in my laundry room, was the steady stream of this water coming out the bottom of the door that I called myself pressing. And it happened so fast. So now I'm like, okay, it's wet again. So now I'm like, fuck it. I open the washer door, you guys. I open it. I'm like, fuck it. The water's obviously going to come out. Let me just open this door and I'll just deal with the water that comes out of this door. You guys. So now there's 3 inches of water after the 2 inches of water that was previously in my laundry room because the washer decided to explode. So now, my pride got the better of me, and I told husband nothing. I'm downstairs cleaning up everything, sucking up all the water in the carpet, sucking up the water in the freaking laundry room, going over the freaking hardwood floor area. By this time, it's creeping into the coat closet, around the way over towards the stairs. So like a huge swath of carpet was soaking fucking wet. A river was running between the tiled floor door and the carpet. It was like a river runs through it. Those who know the movie know. I was like sweating. I was hot. I was wet. I was pissed. I was frustrated. And I wasn't calling husband. So I take my ass and I get everything done. All of it's done. Right? I get everything done. And I'm taking the last of the wet sopping towels out of the laundry room, and I decided I'm going to put these outside and drape them over various objects in my backyard, you know, so that they're easier to get to the laundromat when I do that, because that's obviously the next step, because my washer is spent, right? Last step, I'm telling you, last step. It was an hour ordeal at least an hour ordeal, but I got my carpet to damp. I got every lick of water up in the laundry room, and I was using the towel that I was carrying like to also wipe the floor in front of me and make sure that water was gone. You guys, this is where the tragedy comes. The calamity was upon us. Calamities. Because, and I'm telling you, this is all Mercury retrograde, you guys. All Mercury retro fucking grade. Okay? Because when I tell you that I stepped out of the laundry room, and the freakiest accident happened that ever could have happened. I stepped my left foot out of the laundry room, out of the patio door rather, the sliding glass door, right? And I have my right foot on the actual like frame of the glass door. And you know how it has several tracks and stuff, right? And so I step on the concrete that had become slick with the water that I was throwing out of the washer and emptying out the sump pump sucker thing, and I was throwing it out the back door. And never at one time did it dawn on me that the ground would be slippery right there. I stepped one step with my left foot on the concrete right outside my patio door. Immediate fall, slip. It was a slip. It wasn't a fall. It was like I stepped and my foot was like a literal, like I stepped on a banana peel in a cartoon, and that leg went into a split, you guys. And luckily I can do the splits even when I'm not falling. So I didn't tear no hamstrings, no nothing like that. Also, it was kind of like in fast, slow motion, because while I'm falling, I'm like, oh shit. My hands are full of these wet towels. I'm falling because it's wet. I didn't want to grab onto the glass sliding door, my big ass. There was like a greenhouse right next to the door that's like, it's from the clearance section at some store. Like it's like pipes and PVC. I'm not trying to lean on that to catch my ass falling. And so I'm like, I'm just going to have to go down. So that's how I was able to get into this split. But I told you my right foot was on the frame of the door. My 3 toes, my pinky toe, the second to pinky toe, and the middle toe right there, each decided to find a groove in said door frame, because it's 2 doors, the outdoor and the indoor, right? And then where the screen doors goes. So it's like at least 6 grooves. When I went into the split, I went into a split. My toes were stationary in those crevasses Broke 3 fucking toes, you guys. Broke 3 fucking toes. And I tell you, I've been a high kicking, high stepping roller all my life. I never fall all the way down. Never. Never have I ever fallen all the way down without working that shit in and making it look like I was doing a dance or something. Mama was down. And since I hadn't called husband, the kids were upstairs. I was in too much pain to scream. As it turns out, I'm more my mama than I thought, you guys. More my mama curves than I thought, because she fell one time in the backyard and we didn't hear shit because her scream was, ah, 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 ah. That was it. I couldn't get a scream out to save my fucking life. So now I have to get up from a split, like a Jean-Claude Van Damme split down the middle. And it's still slippery as fuck. And I fell all the way down into all this wet water from the carpet, from the laundry room, from the washer of the clothes, from all this. So I'm wet, I'm sweaty again, but now I'm even wetter. It's like sopping wet because mom was down. I find my way up to my knees. And when I went to go press off, that's how I decided, oh, this motherfucking toe is broken. And you see how I only said one? Because I didn't think it was all 3 of these bitches. I hobbled my ass into the house. And now I can cry. And I'm like, oh! My sons come running down the stairs. Mom, what's going on? Are you okay? I said, I fell. I broke my toes. First thing they said was, why didn't you call Dad to help you? See, so the moral of the story is call Dad to help you. So that was on Monday, last Monday, not this Monday. And then immediately, last Monday. So then after that, I'm like just hobbling around. Rice, compression, elevation. But I'm also too nosy and have so much FOMO, even in my own house, that I cannot sit my ass down for longer than for long. Always got it. And it was Thanksgiving week. I had stores to get to. I had cooking to do. I had all kind of stuff to happen, right? So I hobbled around all week and I was like, oh, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. But then every time this thing touches anything, I'm like, oh, this shit is broken. And then it started clicking. Because I cut the tape off because I felt like the tape was cutting off the circulation in the toe that hurts most. So I cut the tape off. So I still haven't sat down. My toes are healing. And the moral of the story is, if your washer breaks and your husband or partner or somebody leaves you to your own devices, maybe don't fuck with it again until you got either the clicker to say you've fallen and you can't get up, or wait till somebody's around that can help and watch your back, because that was like the craziest time warp thing that happened. And I'm still hobbling, and then this morning I decided, okay, well, maybe the toes broke because you haven't done a pedicure in 3 months. And they were like, you're not paying attention to our asses anyway. So I got it in my head this morning, oh, well, let's at least do the cuticles. Why did my hand slip on the most broke toe? And all I could do was breathe like I was in labor, in Lamaze breathing style, for 28 minutes while my husband rubbed my back and suggested I leave my feet alone for a minute. It was crazy. It was crazy. But anyway, so now we can get to this VanCarthen stuff. I was just waiting for people to come in and join us. You know how we do over here. I am But I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. Yeah, I'm very okay, you guys. So now we're gonna get into our Van Carthen Olacember. Now we did talk. Okay, so YouTubers, I know I owed you one. That's why we're here. This is mostly for you. And I love that you guys are in the house today. I know you guys have missed me. I hope that you haven't, like, deleted the hashtag Love Island Nick and Nicolandria and Van Carthen from your proverbial spaces because of the mess that was going on. So that's where I'll start for you guys on the YouTube streets, because we haven't talked since before F1, you guys. We have not talked since the Las Vegas weekend. Whereas over in the whereas over in the um, TikTok streets, that's all we've been talking about is what didn't happen at F1, what they said happened at F1, and the fallout after F1, and the non-fallout after F1, because the people that it concerns really haven't said shit. So I would say that it's almost a non-motherfucking factor. And Evelyn Lozada has a shirt for that, by the way. Or did Tammy decide to do the shirt? Tammy Roman or Evelyn Lozada got the non-motherfucking factor shirt for a bitch. And if that's your thing. Because the VanCarthens have not responded. And appropriately so. Yeah, I'm good, Gigi. I was just telling him about how I broke my toes. And I was telling the YouTube people about what's been happening in the TikTok streets since I saw them last on like the 19th. I usually go live once a week over in YouTube. But after I missed the week my toe broke. And then I came live with you guys for a minute before I ran to that wedding, didn't I? Or was that only on TikTok too? So I think I haven't seen my YouTubers for maybe 2 weeks, which is wrong. So they don't know about F1. They don't know about that midnight ballerina saying that she caught Nick getting lap dances in Vegas. Come to find out from her other midnight ballerina friend that the only thing true about the whole story is that you can't trust a midnight motherfucking ballerina. Don't trust a midnight ballerina. Okay? Because you guys are in direct competition with each other for the dollar coming out of that gentleman's hand. And as it turns out, Destiny's friend Sia turned on her faster than the I don't know what. I can't even think of a good analogy right now. Turned on her quicker than a rattlesnake turns on a scorpion. I don't know why I said those two things. Those don't match. But anyway, very, very fast it turned. Very, very fast. Hey, Sadie. What's good? Yeah, vote for Olandria, the AI is saying. What are we voting for Olandria on? Do we have something to vote for her on? I just checked. They haven't said anything. Vote on her for what? Ash says go vote for Olandria. Who's Ash? Ash, what's good? What are you talking about? Go vote for Olandria what? Did something just drop? Because I literally checked the medias before I came live. I don't really know. Yeah, I'm good, Gigi. I'm good. My toes are healing. My toes are healing. Uh-huh. Yay. Okay. Okay. So let me show you guys here on the YouTube what we're talking about. How far back do we need to go? So, because you guys saw my video on the Midnight Ballerina and how the allegations, she was like, well, I saw this and this and this, and yeah. And then her friend sent out the text that basically said he curbed. I have so many pictures from that wedding. So that's where we'll pick up, YouTube. That's where we will pick up. Yeah, so you guys can see on this right here, it says he curved them. And then also, this is Kaylin Berry, right? So he's a TikTok. Yep, Kaylin Berry. So Kaylin Berry is a TikToker, and that's the guy whose picture you see here, YouTube. Go ahead and smash that like button, smash the subscribe button. If you haven't already, ring my bell so you can get notified when I go live and post videos. You know, we have some good things coming up in 2026. I'm going to finish the year strong. We're going to have our vision boarding, VanCarthen vision board session on the weekend of the 26th, 27th. And we're going to make digital vision boards that we'll be able to upload on our devices and our PCs so that we can have our manifestation stuff right here in front of us. And that's going to be a continuation. I usually do vision boards all the time, but since we're so into manifesting with VanCarthens, I am very like, hey, let's just VanCarthen-esque out, man. Let's just, hey, that's what they do. You know, she makes her vision boards too. You guys, yeah. So anyway, so this is Kaylin Berry. And after said Midnight Ballerina and her little friend posted grainy videos, where'd they go? So this girl right here, Destiny, is the Midnight Ballerina. Her entire TikTok is dedicated to telling women about how their man, boyfriend, or significant other is most likely at a strip club someplace giving away your money because all men do it. It's one of those kind of pages, right? So, and as it turns out, you can be a traveling nurse or you can be a traveling midnight ballerina. Imagine that. So, she's a traveling midnight ballerina who went... No, Sue. This is just for my YouTubers. I haven't talked to them since the 19th of November. And so I'm giving them the rundown on what we've been dodging over here. Now, some of them are aware of it, but a lot of them are unaware of it because they don't have TikTok. And they might not have even heard of this stuff. So that I bring it to my YouTube people, you know. Just like people have to bring me what the hell is over in the damn radioactive Twitter X space, because I'm not over there. So anyway, this is Destiny. And Destiny, you see how she's looking sideways? Tell me, put a 5 in the chat if you agree that just based off of how her eyes are darted to the side, that she looks like a dodgy bitch. Like it looks like she's dodgy, like it looks like she's looking, like that's possibly a lie is coming out of her mouth right now. Just based off of, she was doing that the whole time, side to side, side to side, side to side, side to side. And right about here, she was saying that the club, I deserve my privacy. You see the subtitle right there? Because she had just said that she saw a certain someone in a spicy club, also known as a strip club, and he was from the Love Island show, and he was supposed to be in a committed relationship, and that people come in there all the time who are more important and married. And she knows she's not supposed to say anything because men are supposed to have their privacy. And in the club, and she was saying, I deserve my privacy. And I know it's wrong, but this is just for fun. And then she posted this picture. And it's just a picture. She posted this picture. Okay, so did I get any 5s on the chat about how she looked like a side-eye dodger? Yes. Okay, so I got a couple 5s. Great. About Roger and Wig Lady, right? Yeah, it was weird. A lot of people were like, oh, waiting for this to happen all of a sudden. And I'm like, you're weird. Why are you waiting for something over here to happen? So to me, so I see that lady's video, and then I see this still picture. It's not a video. It's a still image. And to me, it looks like Nick is looking up like, you're kind of close to me, ma'am. It doesn't look like he's sitting in a position of, ooh, come over here, girl. It doesn't look receptive. His hands are palms down on his lap. He's looking up. His head is kind of scooched back. It's not. It's doesn't look comfortable. And then the position of her hands, it looks like she's saying, "Hi, my name is Sadie. I work in a button factory." And one day, my boss came up to me and said, "Sadie, are you busy?" I said, "No. Let's go make a fake video about Nick." Like, and what are these hand gestures? Why is that one hand up like she's swearing on a Bible she doesn't have? And why is that other hand down? Like, was she rubbing her head and patting her belly? I don't fucking know. Do you know? I don't think she knows. But what I did know was when I saw this image, after watching that dodgy lady's eyes dart back and forth and her admit that it was obviously not a big deal because he's not even freaking married and there's more important people there and they go there for anonymity. So I'm like, oh, this is a clout chasing demon. That's what we're witnessing here. And I'm from Oakland and I can smell the setup from a mile away. A whole entire mile a motherfucking way. Okay? So I'm thinking that this lady looking like she's taking an oath and the lady that spilled the tea are in on it together. To me, it's a hive mind at this point because that's not adequate evidence. But how did you get that picture? And why isn't she mad at you too? Because she's at work and isn't she supposed to be entitled to her privacy too? Right? So we had that. And then the same night, we got this. They were like, why are they so pressed? And the girl's name is Destiny, okay? And she's saying, I don't know. I was being a bit messy by posting this, not gonna lie. But I feel like a lot of partners let their significant others go to the club. I'm not sure they're dynamic. So she's a full midnight ballerina who I already told you gives a lot of like, okay, your man's doing this kind of talks on her thing, along with she's been sober for a year and she travels and she's very into, it seems like POC rights, but not Olandria's rights. Her right to try to dance on Olandria's man and then bring the shit to social media for a moment of clout, okay? So then after she posts that and a couple of other admissions, it's all while Ola is at F1 and you see here she's pictured with the others. There's the NPC Iris. She's standing next to the one who duped America out of $50,000. And I don't know who that other lady is in the black. I'm not sure, but I mean, Olandria, don't have her go out of the house and have to be around these other ladies because this isn't a costume party, but Olandria looks the part, okay? It's like, how is she so F1'd? And then we have like Gym Chic, and I'm not saying everybody has to be everything, but when they're all pictured together, and she's the only one left out of the new remix of In the Villa, which we have decided that we don't really want Nick and Olandria over there because they need to work on their own shine, okay? At this point, if Nick and Olandria do return to Beyond the Villa, I would say that they would be the ones bringing most of the eyes, and those people would be able to ride the coattails of Nick and Olandria. And I don't think they deserve to ride the fucking coattails of Nick and Olandria. I don't think they do. I just don't. Okay? Because I haven't seen any significant... I mean, and I'm not watching everything. I'm not everywhere. I got a whole life, you guys. I do things. But I haven't seen or felt any significant support from these other islanders towards Olandria and Nick. I have not seen or felt any significant support from the other islanders of Love Island Season 7 towards Nick and Olandria VanCarthen. Have not seen it, have not felt it. And it should be apparent because what I see of their support for each other on their Snapchats, in their comments, on their Instagrams, on their other social medias, they're very out loud with the support and very upfront with the liking and all of that stuff. Yeah, what's good, 510? What's good, 510? And so I just feel like it could be as obvious with Nick and Olandria. Like when I go to Nick and Olandria's post, I'm not seeing a lot of, I only see that Finding Jeremiah liked the stuff. Like I'm not seeing like, oh, Amaya liked this or reposted it or anything like that, or oh, this is my girl or nothing, you know? But on their Snapchats, they have a lot of interaction with each other and everybody but Nick and Olandria. That's like, oh, this is my person, this is my girl, this is, you know, we're my friend, all this stuff. So that's what I'm saying. I haven't seen it in that regard towards Nick and Olandria as I've seen it in the same exact regard for their inner workings with each other, and even with Shelly and Ace. I've seen them in their things, liking their stuff. You know what I mean? And so I kind of feel like this isolation that's happening towards Nick and Olandria is bizarre, but hey, that's what happens when people are jealous of you. So the night in question about the alleged being out, you know who he was with that night? He was with Marshmello and Diplo, you guys. He's getting closer and closer to his dreams, okay? So Guapole was singing her favorite song, Closer, Closer, Closer to Your Dreams, Higher and Higher. You know the Guapole song, Closer, right? So she was singing that song Closer at the Fem Forward. That was the Fem Forward? Yeah, the Fem Forward event, because that's where Olandria's mother was, and that's where Guapole was, right? So she was singing that song because it's really happening that Nick, wannabe DJ, Freako Nico, is hanging out with the fucking Marshmello. Do you guys know who fucking Marshmello is? Are you guys aware of what a Diplo is? Are you aware? Like, I know who these two are, and somebody had to school me the other day on who Sir Lewis Hamilton is. I was like, oh, some guy drove Beyonce around the F1 track where Olandria was. She's getting closer to Olandria. She said, and my friend said, some guy. I said, yeah, it was some driver dude. He was driving her around. She's like, I'll have you know that was Sir Lewis Hamilton. I was like, squeeze me. See? So I don't even know what this is. Yeah, it doesn't contain it. Whatever. I don't even know why somebody would not know that that was Diplo and Marshmello allegedly with him the night of the stuff in question. So it was kind of like a networking something that happened is what the rumor is now. I don't know. I wasn't there. They haven't responded. How are we to know? So in the meantime, Olandria, unfortunately, this is as close as I got. I'm going in order of how I got the information. So we got the stuff from Destiny. Everybody but me and a couple other sane people in the VanCarthen perimeter were like, oh, this is bullshit. And then like a million more people were running with that and revealing themselves to be ops among us and making it like there's some kind of something going on and they wanted it. So now, after that, the next day, I was like, oh, Olandria's posting from a football game. She didn't say shit. The next thing we know, her and Mama Felicia's best friend are walking up the stairs to the Wrapped in True event. And so American True Religion finally got their hands on Nicolandria, and they must want some sales. So they went and got the one that can make the sales happen, aka Olandria, because we know that the other islanders did the um, True Religion Van Dutch collaboration. And I don't know I hadn't heard of anything selling out. And I don't know if it sold out this time, but I know it's more likely to sell out with O behind it. But yeah, so she was at the same exact place. This is Olandria in her True Religions, at the same exact place where Shelly was, you guys. And they did not interact that we saw. We did not see any hugs between them. We saw Shelly turning up at that event with some other people on this Jumbotron. She took a picture and it looked like she was standing behind Olandria from the position of the picture. Like she had, I'm surprised, I was like, is that Olandria's hair? Like, they were like right next to each other. No evidence of them speaking, talking, or anything. And I could imagine what it was like to have Mama Felicia with her at that event, because Mama Felicia it was alleged that Mama Felicia was like, you got to be careful of your friends and who's not your friend, and look out for certain people in some comments, which got some people upset. But when you care about somebody, you tell them to look out for wolves in sheep's clothing. You would tell them that. You would tell them that, if you as an outsider noticed that they weren't moving in a way that was, sustainable for you, then you would let them know, oh, you might want to watch your back with that bitch. You would let them know. What mother do you know that could see somebody treat their daughter, or be down with somebody that could treat their daughter in such a deceitful, humiliating way, with no correction, no standalone statement like, I am not my boyfriend's keeper, he has his own mouth, I don't agree with that. Anything to show that you were like really literally supporting Olandria is what some people were looking for and some people would expect. And not saying that it's required, but that's the truth, that some people were expecting, and expectations diminish joy, we know, and were we disappointed. But we only expected that based off of how she presented herself with regard to how she would want to be treated and things like that. So anyway, I'm going too far back for some people. It has been, 6 months? Wait, we left July 25, 26, July 25. So then on August, September, October, November, December. So we're right at 5 months post Villa, August, September, October, November, December. Yep, right at 4.5, 5 months post Villa. And I'm so happy you guys are here. Thony, thanks for coming on. Yeah, Mama Felicia don't play, right? So we know that, well, it looked like somebody with her handle said something about that, And we've heard in interviews how they don't like really talk about each other or refer to each other directly, Anyway, where was I for that? So she's at this True Religion thing with Shelly, but nobody's taking any flicks. And I could just imagine the awkwardness of having Shelly there and Felicia there, like just awkward. Okay, so they were at that True Religion event. And then what happened? The people were still F1ing. He was with Marshmello and Diplo. Oh, and then this happened, YouTube. I know we don't give a damn. But look, this is me and husband real quick. Hi, husband. Hi. That was our heyday. I love. This. Did we care? Look, they did a whole big thing. And look at that car. Doesn't that look very Sweet Greens to you? Does that look very fucking Sweet Greens to you? I'm like, get your own fucking ideas, colonizers. Fucking colonizing Nick and Olandria's vibe and photo shoot ideas. They could have done like a more up-to-date car. It didn't have to be cowboy themed. You know what I mean? Like, it's just weird. They're just fucking weird at this point. So TikTok, I'm showing YouTube the picture. I'm showing YouTube the picture of TJ and Iris and how there was this write-up about how they went official Love Island USA stars. That's kind of a lot. That's a big word for those two. Because I think it should have said Love Island USA NPCs. Iris and TJ announced they're officially in a relationship. That's what it should have said. Why are they giving losers the star title? Like, she broke up with old boy and he didn't even make it to the finals. Okay? But they're stars. No, I'm sorry. I shouldn't say it like that. You guys know what I mean, though. They are stars, but they're not stars. You know? But maybe they say it's stars, so you want to give a fuck because people supposedly give a fuck about what stars do. But that's a huge word for NPCs. I feel like that's putting 10 on 20. You know? I feel like that's putting 10 on 20. And so not only did they take this picture in front of this car, which is almost the Sweet Greens car, and then remember in the Sweet Greens ad, she was standing next to the car. They have a picture like that. Ola was standing next to the car and Nick was in it. They have a picture like that, these two next to this car that they rented. And then remember, Olandria was sitting in the front seat with her candies and her thigh, and he had his hand on her thigh. They did a picture like that. I'm just like, dude, I feel like they just are doing everything they do so that when they try to replace them, it'll be okay for the butterfly theory because people's minds will be so blurry that they'll remember that happened to somebody and, oh, it must have been these people that they're showing me that it happened to because they erased the people that it really happened to. Anyway, I watch a lot of sci-fi and I do studies on level 8, which is the conspiracy level. And so that could happen, you guys. That could definitely happen. So, yeah. Do we care? Do we care? TJ and Iris are monitoring spirits, right? Copy everything others do. Oh my gosh. Monitoring spirits, NPCs, replacements. I mean, it's like they're trying to clone what's not clonable. And it's just so weird how they don't have any pushback. They don't have no reporters programming, oh, is this fake or real, when they ask other people about Love Island and TJ and Iris. They're just like, oh, isn't it great that they got together? There's none of that. Oh, do you think it's really real? Like, they're still asking about Nick and Olandria to this day. It's so just part of it. Obviously, it's part of the bullshit. They're all in on the shit, I'm telling you. Yeah, what happened to Pepe? Nobody even said what happened to Pepe. Nobody even said, oh, do you feel sorry for Pepe? To nobody. Like, that's what they should have asked that girl Jordan, was about Iris and about NPCs, not about Olandria and Nick. So weird. They're desperate to push a white-only couple. Anna, I would say that you're correct. It's like fucking Moms of Liberty is over here studying Nick and Olandria, and when they rewrite history, they're trying to get their NPCs right in place to swoop in and be the story. That's how they got white Jesus, you guys. That's why there's white Jesus. Hair of wool and skin of bronze. And then we got a white-eyed, blue-eyed man on all the refrigerators across America. Fucking replacer colonizers. Just rewriting shit. Rewriting shit. We are on the most benevolent timeline. Thank you, Krista Marie. Yay. Yeah, they're NPCs. They're NPCs. destiny swapping going on, but what's for Nick and Ola is for them. Exactly, Devin. And that's the other thing, because I'm going to keep on going with what happened after they gave us this weak sauce story that nobody cares about, and them trying to fluff it up saying stars, stars upon ours. You guys know the Dr. Seuss story about the screeches that have stars that on their bellies, and then the other screeches didn't have stars on their bellies, and then the ones with no stars really wanted to be like the ones with stars because they were stars. And so in the Dr. Seuss book, this contraption guy pulls up, and he has this star later, and he pulls up on the beach where all the people with no stars are looking longingly at the people with stars whose lives seem to be fantastic and upper crust, but really they're just walking around like that because they got this star on their belly. So this guy comes through with a star later, and so the people with no stars can get stars upon theirs. And then the people with stars upon theirs, their side of the beach is all crowded now. And they're like, what the fuck? So they go to the guy and they're like, what did you do? He's like, I put stars on their bellies. And they were like, we don't want them to have, if they have stars upon theirs, we don't want stars upon ours. And so then he had to reprogram the machine to remove the stars from the original star havers, because they wanted to still be different than the people that now had stars. So then they still had the air of, oh, I'm a star, because they were the first ones to have a star. So they go through the machine and it takes off their stars. And the new star havers, all of a sudden, now they want no stars upon theirs, because the people who just got their stars off are still walking around with their noses in the air, because now we don't have stars upon ours. And we're still different than you. So then the new star havers were like, fuck it, take our stars off. We want to be with no stars again, because we were obviously in a better position since they want to be there. So they go back through the machine and get their stars off. So now nobody has stars. So then the people with the first group, of course, they want the stars back. But the machine broke, you guys. The machine broke. Okay? The machine broke. So what's for you is for you. It's for you. You can go get it and try to have it, but the machine might break, you guys. Anyway, what was this? I was going to share something. Oh, you guys, YouTube, did you guys know that Britt Eady finally filed the actual $20 million lawsuit? 60 freaking pages, you guys. So last year, after Britt Eady left Real Housewives of Atlanta, she didn't show up to the reunion, and instead there was a lawsuit that got leaked. Remember? Well, we went over that lawsuit in detail over here on the YouTube streets, and we read through it line by line, and I was like, yep, they got that, they got that, they got, as a viewer, I witnessed what the fuck she said in the complaint. I could technically be a freaking character witness for what I witnessed as a viewer take place from what she said in her complaint. But it had a strange thing at the top, you guys. At the very top of it, it said, not filed, in red letters. It said received but not filed, or something weird. So it wasn't official, basically. So now, on November 25th-ish, she filed an official file complaint. See, this one doesn't have any red on it, YouTube. And it's Britt Eady is the plaintiff. Truly LLC at Bravo Media are the defendants. Now, I'm surprised she doesn't have Jane and John Doe's 1 through 50, because usually a great lawsuit should contain that, especially in these network type lawsuits, because they could be using aliases or, you know, some type of pen name where it's not really their name. So I know when Faith Stour sued Bravo, Truly, et al., and John and Jane Doe's 1 through 50. It was so she could personally name people as they were found out in discovery. So anyway, this lawsuit, it's saying that they caused her emotional distress. She's in therapy. She's not the same. She's humiliated. It affected her business and treatment thereafter. The defendants twisted the knife in another grotesque display of sexual harassment and retaliation.